Hello?
Yo.
Hello?
Yo, bro, what's up? HoopsNBrews.
Hey, what's going on?
What's up, bro?
Yo, shout out to that head in the background
blowing the horn. But yeah, man, get your plug in. Tell the people who you are. Tell the people where they can find you at.
Urkel9 on Twitter.
Yeah, this is the most hated guy by everybody on Twitter. I think people hate Urkel as much as people hate Pavy. So it's nice to have both of you guys here to annoy the shit out of me for the next 15 minutes. Let's go.
So I want we got posed this question when I asked. I kind of know what both of you guys are gonna say, but I want to get both of you guys answers. We got posed this question. The question is: are the playoffs better without LeBron?
I don't even notice he's gone. He's irrelevant. I told you last year it was the end of his run. I wasn't lying. I said it. I literally wrote a fucking article about it. Literally named "Goodbye LeBron," the end of an era. It was goodbye LeBron. It was the end of his era. His era is over. He's no longer that relevant. The only reason why he's relevant now is because he's a loser. Literally, the only reason why LeBron is relevant right now because he's a loser.
I disagree with you.
Because he's a loser. Because if he was in the playoffs right now, he'd be getting his ass smacked by the Spurs or something like that.
No, they will probably be getting.
They would be getting their ass smacked by the Spurs. They would be getting their ass smacked by the Spurs with B.I. on the sidelines clapping and shit. Like, damn, we wish B.I. was out there. That's literally would have been your excuse the whole season. I mean, the whole series. B.I. was hurt. That's why they didn't win. B.I. was hurt. Like, nah.
Urkel,
stop.
What do you think? Are the playoffs better without LeBron?
They are better, but let's rewind for a second, right? So I remember the first playoffs I watched without MJ. It was 99, right?
Uh-huh.
Yep.
The playoffs were exciting, right? But after watching MJ in the playoffs for like the last 10 years before, right? Well, except for 93 and 94, right?
Yeah.
So those 2 years I remember, like, the playoffs, the season was dead, right? Like, you had Horace Grant and B.J. Armstrong making the All-Star team, right? So
hey, man. Horace could hoop. No Horace Grant slander.
Nah, Horace Grant slander.
No Horace Grant slander. No Horace Grant slander. Gee, I rock with Horace, bro. I rock with Horace. But continue.
Horace was a double dude, right?
Yeah.
But I'm like, what I'm saying is that they made the league was dead and you could feel it, right?
Mm-hmm.
99, it was the same thing. It was dead. Like, the Knicks made the playoffs, right? So there is a thing where, like, you have casuals watch the NBA, right? And casuals are like fans of LeBron, right? Like, he probably has the biggest fan base. Now, the dynamics of 19. The dynamics of like 1999. Oh yeah, he's definitely casual. I've seen some of his shit, but the dynamics of like 99, like compared to like 2018, is different because you have like 5 dudes, right? Like 5-6 dudes that are like legit stars. They're like their own brands and they come with fans, right? So I don't think it's that bad. The 30%, that was the regular season too. So is it that like the East Coast East Coast audience was strictly watching LeBron? Maybe, I don't know. But I don't think it's something to react to. Like, the audience is just gonna, latch on to like somebody like Giannis or whoever stays out east or whatever, So the NBA will market whoever they need to market, and then it won't even matter after a point. But, they were going to stink because if you look at the Indiana series last year, like, they're on the ropes. Like, there were a few games, like, you legit wondered, like, oh, shit, are the Cavs even going to make it out the first round? What the hell would happen?
I said they were losing 7, and LeBron was 4 minutes away from it.
I mean,
bruh, and then we saw some dubious calls down.
Bruh, they wanted LeBron to go to that second round.
The call was a little bit. Well, no, the call that wasn't
shafted him out of that series.
But
was that Scott Foster? No.
Real quick, my opinion. Okay, so looking back at last year, I personally think LeBron had the best playoff run I've ever seen a human being have. That, at least in my lifetime, since I've been watching basketball day in and day out. To me, that was the best playoff run I've seen a human being had. And he actually played not his best game because he lost the game, but it was going to be his best game, which was game 1 of the finals. Like, that shit was probably LeBron's best
Thank
game.
you for finally admitting that it wasn't his best game.
I will probably say like the Boston game was like his best game just because, he won the game and just like the look in his eyes, it's fucking legendary. Like, you knew from the look in his eyes, like, yo, we're not going. And also, like, if he loses that game, the talk around LeBron's legacy is completely different.
The talk around, no, it's not. It's the same as
no,
it is
it's
now.
not. No, it's not.
We was calling him we called him a choke until he ran to Miami. Stop. Come on,
man. Stop. Okay. If he loses that game, the big three, somebody gets traded away. Like, I remember they was talking about, yo, should we trade Dwayne Wade? Should we trade Chris Bosh? Like, shit was gonna change if they lose that game and go down. What was it? I think they were down 3-2.
Yeah. And
that was game 6. Yeah. So besides that, I think game 1 of the playoffs last year was honestly his best basketball game. I've never seen that man do what he did offensively in that game, in any other game. But the playoffs this year, we had this discussion right before we called you. Personally, I love it. I think that this is like the beginning of like a new era, and it like starts with this playoffs. So
will you admit that I was right that it was the end of LeBron's era?
I don't think it's the end of LeBron's era because I want to see what happens.
Then don't call it a new era. Then it's still his era.
No, it's not, because you can still move into a different era of basketball. Like, again,
I'm confused.
What's up?
You think he's gonna get better? I don't think he's better.
No, look, I don't think he's gonna get better, but I think that the Lakers as a whole can get better and get back into the playoffs.
His era is still over.
That's fair. Like, it's not like
fair.
No,
his era is
listen.
over.
Obviously the era of LeBron being the best player in the league. I think like that's gone. I don't think he'll be the best player in the league anymore. I do think that LeBron can come back and win MVP. I actually do think that if he can get the Lakers into the playoffs, depending on what moves they make this offseason. But
he should be able to get in there every year. But you would have been one of those people last year telling me that regardless of the team, they was gonna make the playoffs.
Yeah, but I didn't think he was gonna get hurt himself. But real quick, I don't want to say the playoffs are better, but I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm missing watching LeBron play. I'm not. Like, you have guys like Harden. I'm excited to see what Harden's going to do. I'm excited to see what the Warriors are going to three-peat. The Dame Russ thing going on. I fucking love it. I'm excited to see what the Blazers are going to do. I'm excited to see what Kyrie Irving's going to do. I just think that there are so many new storylines in the playoffs this year that will affect the next 5 years of basketball that I don't really too much miss watching LeBron play. Maybe for the casual fan that's just used to cutting on the TV and seeing Bron. But even still, I think we got like exciting things for the casual fan. Like, if you're up late and you want to turn on like the Dame Russ thing, like, I think that's the thing you may be looking at. The Warriors are trying to three-peat. Like,
LeBron is holding on the NWO at this point.
Tune in to the Warriors. You got Giannis. Like, go watch Giannis. So I don't think that the playoffs are, as far as like the product on the court, is suffering because LeBron isn't there. I don't think that. I actually have not.
Hold up.
What's up?
You just said something that I find interesting, right? Like, so you think like LeBron can win MVP again? I don't think there's a chance he can win MVP again.
Not a chance.
I do. I really do.
Like James Harden. The way James Harden plays and the way they win, right?
Right.
He's going to be like in a top 2 for like the next 3 or 4 years.
I agree with that, but the issue is that I agree with that, but the issue is like, even you see with the media now, like, people seem like to not like him play so much, and like
we media, and I don't like watching.
I love watching Harden play, and I think that people disrespect his performances so much that I don't know if he'll get the awards. Like, I think I'll say this. I think Harden realistically could have 3 MVPs right now. I think he should have Steph's first one, and I think he should have this one. But I don't think that the media wants to. Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
On,
yes, he did. Dwight was out there. What's up?
Let me go on a tangent right here. So,
go ahead.
You think Harden deserved that? First of all, Steph won 67 games.
That's dope. That's dope. He had the best team. I don't think that no. I don't think team record should. I don't think that you should win it just because you had the best record. I don't. Steph had the healthiest team this year, had the best bench, and Harden had better numbers. And Dwight was hurt. And what you think of Dwight right now? Hold on, real quick. And what you think of Dwight right now is not what you thought of Dwight back then.
Dwight was on his way out, man. Like,
everybody knew Dwight was on his way out.
Dwight and Harden.
That was the year before he got traded to the Lakers, right?
Dwight was on his way out. Like,
no, that was the year after he got traded. No, that was. I think that was the first year, or maybe might have been the second year.
14. I think that was like his second or third year in.
I think it's second year. Yeah. But I mean, yeah, but he was coming off an all-star performance though. Like he was an all-star the year before. Yeah. So what you think of Dwight right now isn't what you thought of Dwight then. And he would still give you like 16 and 10. He was out half of the year.
Oh yeah, that was actually 2 years after he got traded.
He was out half of the year. Harden was keeping that team afloat with I think Chandler Parsons as like the second best player that year. No, I'm sorry, he deserved it.
Yeah, even when Dwight played the half of the year, he still gave you 15.8 and 10.5 a game. Like
I agree. He wasn't like Dwight wasn't
67 games. I'm sorry. No.
I don't care. I don't think that being on the best team or having the best record should get you the MVP. I always land with the guy who did more with less and had better stats. It's not a team award, which is why I'm picking Harden over Giannis this year, and also why I picked Russ over Harden that year.
But hold up, if you're killing teams and you're not playing the fourth quarter, like...
Hold on, so wait. Why do you credit all that to Steph? The bench wasn't good? When Steph go out, somebody got to keep the lead.
I mean, they were up by 20, 30 points. Like
somebody got to keep the lead, though. You
somebody
see,
would hold the lead.
I mean, shit, the other night that didn't happen when the man went to the bench.
I mean, well, yeah.
Okay then, but, like you talking about probably also one of the, if you look at bench units in probably NBA history on championship teams, where do you rank that bench unit? You got Barbosa, you had Space. Barbosa was not terrible. Barbosa was very good. You had Space. You had Iggy coming off the bench. Livingston was even better back then. Like they had a very, very good bench unit. Somebody got to hold the lead.
I mean, let's not act like Harden's team was actually, was like completely just devoid of talent. I mean, they had Ariza, they had Pat Bev. I mean, you got Harden, they still had Clint.
How many games did all them? I mean, but Clint was like a rookie then. Clint wasn't the Clint we know right now.
Totals. Pat Bev, Ariza played 82 games. Okay. Monte Eunice that year on that team was very good on that team. Pat Bev.
Monte Eunice played good that year too.
Yep. Pat Bev played 56 games. Jason Terry played 77 games off the bench. Corey Brewer played 56. Josh Smith that year played 55. Dwight 41, and then like Terrence Jones. That team wasn't a terrible team.
But they weren't there. I didn't say they were a bad team.
What do you mean? What do you mean? The only person that was hurt was Dwight.
What you mean? Beverly playing 50? G, you read Mad 55s in there. You didn't just read that. You read Mad 55.
Yeah, Josh Smith and Corey Brewer.
You said Patrick Beverly played 55
Didn't Josh Smith get released by the Hawks that year and then sign with them?
Nah, I think that was he got released by the Pistons, or he might get released by the Pistons after that. I'm not sure. But what did you say, Urkel?
Yeah, but anytime I look at these MVP races, I always look to the head-to-head, right? And I always look for validation in the playoffs, right? So anytime you had like a Steve Nash or one of those dudes winning, I always look for the validation in the playoffs. Like, it doesn't count, but I pay attention to it, right?
Right.
And Steph kind of backed it up in the playoffs. Did you see his numbers in the playoffs against Houston?
Yeah.
They were off the charts.
Yeah.
So,
but it's not a playoff award, though.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but it's also
I get what you're saying, but we every year we have these debates, right? Like this dude should have won it, this dude tired his team, that dude didn't. He had a loaded team, right? Mm-hmm. So I always look at the head-to-head, right? And then I look at the playoff performance. Like, did he deserve it? And like, if you look at that 15 playoff run for Steph, it was unbelievable, right? Like, it was a stupid playoff run. So, I mean, he kind of backed it up, right? Like, he backed it up in the playoffs. I've seen Harden go to some playoffs and he should have won the MVP or won the MVP. And although, you know what, like, I'll say this about Harden. I don't think he's played as bad in the playoffs as people think.
Okay, there you go.
Like,
I agree.
When I think when I think of people playing bad in the playoffs, I think of like a dude like T-Mac or Garnett, right? Dudes who would never get out of the first round.
Because we all know T-Mac was trash in the playoffs.
Man, why you gotta do
Thank you, Urkel. Thank you, bro. T-Mac was garbage in the playoffs. And he walked around and act like he won with Michael Doliak for his whole career. He had Yao. And the one year when he was hurt, Yao and them actually did better. Get out of here.
I remember when T-Mac was up. I think it was 03 or 04, right? And I think back then it was like the 5-game format for the first round. And dude basically guaranteed, right?
Yeah. Like, guaranteed they was going to win and they lost.
Went up and it was like, yeah, man, it feels good to finally get out the first round.
And they see it to lose the next 3 games. I remember
if
that.
Twitter were around
shit,
back
my
in
bad.
like '03, dude, like he would have still heard about it. It's a good thing that people weren't tweeting back then. You know what I mean? Like the slander would have been unreal, like if we were around back
That
then.
man would have been trying to drive
So-
off a bridge or something. Like, no, T-Mac, no. For real. Because he was
No,
for
but
his ass.
T-Mac was legit. Like T-Mac, like in terms of like getting stats and all of that. Like I think he was. There was a point where
Don't do
I
this.
used to think he was as good as Kobe.
He's
Stop
better than,
this.
thank you,
Stop
thank
this.
you,
Stop
thank you,
this.
thank you. I
Stop
100%
this.
agree. I think
Stop
from 2000 to
this.
2003, there was a legit
Stop
discussion
this.
about who the
I
best
will
shooting
not
guard
let.
in the
I
league
will not.
was.
I will not let that
Yes.
ride. No,
Yes.
no,
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 Yes.
no,
Hold on.
no,
Yes.
no.
I agree with you.
No.
I agree with you. I actually thought he was better than Kobe from
There was a
2000 to
legit
2003.
argument, right?
No,
Yes.
it wasn't no legit
but here's
argument.
what
One guy
separated
got
them,
out of the
though,
first
like-
round. One guy didn't. That was
One
never
guy
an
had
argument.
Shaq.
One guy was also balling while he had Shaq.
He
Stop
was.
that.
I think T-Mac could have ball.
Stop that.
While he had
Stop
Shaq
that.
too.
That's disrespectful.
I think T-Mac could have
Shaq
balled
was
while
the
he had
best
Shaq
player in
too.
basketball, and Kobe Bryant was out there matching him damn near every night.
And I think T-Mac
Stop
could have
that.
done the exact same
T-Mac couldn't
thing.
even get out the first round.
'Cause
Stop
Grant Hill
that.
couldn't
You
play.
think Kobe Bryant couldn't have got out of the first round? Michael
Possibly.
Doliak, fuck out of
Possibly.
here. Stop that.
Possibly.
Disrespectful
Possibly.
as hell. You're
I
disrespectful.
possibly do think
You
that.
disrespect
I
the game
possibly
of
do think
basketball
that.
by saying
I
this
possibly
shit.
do
You're
think that.
disrespectful.
I do think that.
You're disrespectful.
If Grant Hill could have been on the court, it would have been a different story.
So- Hold up.
What's
Grant
up?
Hill ain't got nothing to do with it. Get out of here.
What's up?
Trash.
So I think in terms of skill set, T-Mac was as good, but I'm a believer in that basketball at that level, like half of it is mental, right?
I agree.
I just think
100%.
Kobe had like the mental stuff over almost everybody, right? So, I mean, the dude won a championship when he couldn't even legally drink, and like
Yeah.
it takes some like mental toughness, right? So I think that's what kind of separated him. Like he wasn't like the best athlete, or
I agree.
you know what I mean? Like I think his skill was probably the best out of anyone.
I agree.
But he wasn't like head above, like skill wise, like he wasn't head above heels over T-Mac. He wouldn't tell you that. But
agree.
like the mental part of it, like if you were like that series against Portland, right? I could see T-Mac folding in that series, right?
Fair.
Like they're down 15.
They were down.
and,
Yep. That. Yep.
Like, the game against Indiana, right? Like I
When
think
Shaq fouls out in his overtime
I think
and
T-Mac do some folding. Yeah, absolutely. So that was also the knock against LeBron too, right? Like people used to say that LeBron didn't have the mental part of it, which
He
I
still don't.
totally agree with.
He
like,
still don't. He out
so-
there clanking free throws. He still
yeah.
don't.
So I don't disagree with that. Like I think like the mental part of it is like the biggest thing, right? So not many dudes have like that mental stuff where, you know, they can slow down their breathing and you know what I mean? Like they just have like a singular focus, right?
Yeah, it's a different level.
So I just think it's like a different approach. So that's why when somebody wins a championship, there's a reason why they won the championship, right? Because it's super hard to do. So I respect people who win championships. So, you know, that's where the mental part of it comes in my opinion.
Fair. But moving on.
We gon' slide, yeah, we gon' chill. She said she loves me, I'm her threat. She riding with me, she siding with